In this vlog series, I am transforming an old 3-story house into an eco home while living in my van conversion. So today, I've got a different camera and the sound might be not the best because I've had a mic until my new camera arrives. And what I'm doing, I'm basically finishing off the plasterboard in the back of the bathroom. Some more insulation I ordered arrived, so I can do that. I'm just wiring it up to stop it potentially sagging. And then it won't take long. Probably do this in one piece, another piece here, and then I've got to put the wall in because I had to leave this wall because I can't get the plasterboard sheets in until the wall's done in there, and for that to be done then I had to finish all the other stuff in there, so it's been a bit of a chicken and egg situation. So I'm going to do that today. Day is continuing to sand and plaster. She goes away for a few days, so she's trying to get that done rapidly. And yesterday I went and got a ton of concrete, like so it's basically sand with like chip-ins in it. Mix, and also it's like mixing with sand, and then also a ton of sand, so 2 tons of sand, 260 kilos of cement, and then I also cemented out this. I tried to time lapse it, but because I haven't used this camera very much, it basically just took one photo. So I have a photo of before and this is the after, but yeah, it's probably about a solid ton of cement went into this slab, but it's basically finished. It's going to be really tidy when it's done. And it brings it all the same level, no weird steps and deviancies, and it all slopes a bunch, so when it does rain it will just flow off the front. And I'm really happy, I think, with how the edging is going to work out. It will take a few days to set properly, so I'm going to leave all the edging on, and then later when it's all gone rock hard, just leave it 3 or 4 days, maybe 5 days, and I'll take a full of the edging and see how my casting worked and whether it's kind of done what I hoped it would do. But I'm pretty happy with this, and now this is done I can start working out the big structure, the metal structure, welding up a structure to make the balcony for the bedroom, and that's, yeah, and then things will start looking pretty cool out here. I need to buy some tiles for this floor, not quite sure what colour and stuff to go for, but Spain now is like basically fully opened up, so that definitely makes things a little bit easier when it comes to shopping for building supplies. Put some holes in the wall. This is going to hold the balcony out both bars. Unfortunately on this end I need to put a hole right here, and obviously there's just an enormous rock, which means I have to take out the whole rock and then build it up again. Pain in the ass. That's the way it goes there. So basically from here, this is the bedroom. I'm going to have a balcony bar. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the balcony bars in first, get them kind of basically perfect level, cement them up, and then build the other rest of it around it. It seems to be the easiest way, instead of trying to maneuver big weird shapes around it. So you can do that, clamp stuff to it, and then just build out from the wall. I think it's going to be the way. Got the rock out. What's that thing? I just needed a hole about 10 centimeters in. But I've definitely got a hole now, so now basically I'm gonna probably get a bunch of rocks, build up to the level I want it, so I've got like a flat base in there with rapid cement, and then cut the right length I need for my cross beam section. So as you can see, I've got the 2 beams in, this one and that one, and then there'll be another pole which will come up against the wall. You'll turn a right angle and go all the way over, project across the roof a little bit, and then into the wall. So it's like, but these two, what my plan is to get these dead square straight as much as I possibly can, get them perfect, and then cement them in. And then all I've got to do is basically make the corner piece, weld it on, and I can kind of do all the other stuff while it's in situ, because I was trying to think, otherwise if you just weld it up as a shape it would be really hard to like wobble it, get it in. There's a good chance I'll smash a hole through my window, so get these in. It'll be a bit of a fiddle to get it exact, but when it is good, I think we'll be good to go with the rest of it. Get that done quite quickly. So just basically trying out the welder, and yeah, it's been a good learning curve working out the level. So we're putting it at between 5 and 6, running with slightly larger rods, like 3mm rods, and at 90. And that seems to be quite a good weld. I've had Cisco coaching me. Cisco is my builder neighbour, but we've pretty much run out of welds, so I can do this one. Try it anyway. Here we go. Team effort today. So as you can see, we've got some decent welds. This is the one which went quite well. I think this one is the last one. So just basically going through learning the process, learning the rods, learning the machine settings, and I think we're kind of there. Gonna weld up the balcony soon.
Tienes que un poquito así, como flow. Estás moviendo siempre.
Más o menos. Menos.
Muchas gracias.
It's so hot.
Why are you wearing the sweater?
Because the melted metal falls on my arms. At the moment I am basically just bolting this frame all go out to that one, to the wall, and then I'll weld it in the corners as well, so it'll be really secure, and it'll just be bolted straight into the wall. And on this I'll have these cross struts which will go across, weld them on each end, and then basically that will give me like support for the wood, because I'd like to have the wood long ways. I think it will look better. It's a really hot day, so it'd be nice to get this done. So basically I've done the weld. My neighbour is doing some conference calls online, so I've got to wait a little bit. But you can see, like on the weld, there's like this kind of crusty build up on top of it. That's called slag, and basically I need to just knock that off. Then I can inspect what's going on with the metal, whether it's like a clean weld, whether it's got quite good penetration. After that, I can grind it down and tidy things up. And if I need to do a bit more welding, I can come after and kind of patch them up and make them look good. I will say that the kind of the underside ones are definitely harder. Still got a bit more here to do. And notice if there's a little gap, it's quite hard to kind of bridge a gap, especially when it's upside down. But apart from that, the other ones which are kind of straightforward, they've done pretty well. I'm quite happy with it. What we do now is I've basically finished the weld, I've ground them off, I put some like hard body filler in it, which is just like pushed in all the corners. I'll sand it down. It will just make it smoother for when I paint it. And now I'm going to fill in the hole in the wall. Carver is basically cheaper than water here, so using this to wet it. And then good old time with cement again. Just going to basically poke all the cement in, fill this hole, render it up. Then this is done and I can kind of clean the balcony and everything. We're basically sort of back on. I need to do a little bit more welding on this balcony because I need to put some cross supports for the wood, but I need to get more metal for that, so I can do that at the same time I buy the wood. So now I'm removing the edges of the balcony I put in. I'm going to see how it's done in terms of like making the form for the water drip and just see kind of how it looks. I've just been removing these sidings and just examining where I made a concrete lip so the water rolls off, and it's just worked perfectly. These are the bits of like old door edge I used for it, so it kind of, this was at the front and then you have ended up with a nice lip. It looks great. I just need to get these out, they're a bit stuck in the concrete, but other than that it's going really well. So right now, Scoobie Dee, who we did a tour of recently, of his really amazing van, I would definitely check it out. He's popped by in Spain. It's pretty hot. He's come for some climbing, paddleboarding.
Well, the trip was meant to be 3 months, but I got here in March, got locked down, and now I'm just starting to climb, and I'm trying to, but really it's just in the evening that I can get there.
I might take him out to the home crag tomorrow over at Goals. But yeah. And he just give me a hand carrying plasterboard up, which is always useful.
This place is looking amazing, by the way. It's kind of what you think it's going to look like, but the village and the mountain that it's in is just beautiful. It's just fantastic. You know, it feels like sort of being in a little bit like being in the UK in the summer, but with massive mountains.
Yeah, and great climbing. So we'll check it out tomorrow. Daren wanted to do some chat about alternative living, so we sat down, filmed this interview. If you want to see the full interview, head over to his channel. There's a link in the description and also a card in this video.
Hey Scoob, you having fun? So I've been lucky enough to be staying at Nate Murphy, Mr. Van Life, for the last few days in his beautiful hillside renovation project. And what I was really interested in is to hear from Nate about alternative living and to hear what he's got to say about that after living in different places for the last 5 years on the road and now in this restoration project. Okay, well in terms of like alternative living, I mean, I feel that a lot of people in their kind of standard 9-to-5 jobs working in cities and stuff look to people like van lifers and look to people that are setting up properties abroad, and they ask themselves, you know, could that be them? You know, and what shift does it take to realise if you're that person to sort of take that on?
I think in terms of sort of van life and travel, and or just like moving abroad or living in a different place or living in a tiny house, all these things, I'm pretty sure it's like relatively accessible to everyone, because one of the big reasons for sort of alternative living is leveraging basically cheaper ways of living to enable like a better, more interesting life, or a life focused or centered around the passions that you have. So in that sense, it's kind of open to everyone, pretty much. Obviously, the crux part usually comes down to how people will earn money. So if you can work remotely or gig work or whatever, that makes it a lot easier. Especially if you want to break from the city. But if your job is really tied to a geographic area or whatever, then it does limit options. But still, you can potentially van life or find places for tiny living or manage ways to basically escape kind of sort of rent tyranny or just really high property prices, which kind of gets you stuck in the game.
Yeah. When you first went away there, you didn't have a living, did you? You decided to do it. You just decided to.
For me, I decided I wanted to focus on rock climbing. It was a passion and hadn't given it solid years of dedication, so I decided just to chase it. With the thought in mind that maybe I probably won't come back to normal employment. Yeah,
so because we spoke before about you know, like when you're living in a city and you might be earning that big fat wage, but you're actually spending it all you know, and it, you know, I know this is a tricky question, but is there a sort of like, is there kind of like a starting amount of money that you might want to not to buy a house, but to get yourself on the road?
But in terms of getting money, I did a video recently about like a fuck off fund concept.
Yeah, I saw that one.
And really that goes into actually looking at how if you have money which enables you to just leave, it's not even so much that like you should bail all the time or you should leave. It just gives you power because it always gives you the option.
Yeah.
And if you have options, then you are not compromised. You don't have to be compromised. You can always leave, and that's just generally very good for you.
So when this is all done in a couple of months' time, was it? You hopefully. What's your next plans?
I'm working on a project to do with ideas and ideology. So I want to kind of push that to a close. I need to relax a bit because I've been working pretty hard.
Yeah, I got lucky actually. I got here and I thought I could see how busy Nate was from his vlogs, and I thought he's probably not going to have any time. But I got here and he'd done like 6 days of heavy like shifting and doing cement and stuff, and he was a bit tired, so I managed to get a couple of days. And we even got to do a climb. I went out to do a 5A and a 6A, and Nate being Nate, he's like, oh yeah, you need to do a 6C. That's what you need to do, and take more falls.
You need to be doing the 7As.
I need to be doing 7Bs now.
Whips. Definitely. You're strong enough. You just need to just fire it up.
I'm feeling motivated. I'm feeling like a sort of a funny sort of motivating. It's like a Nate says I can do it. You know, I've got a nickname for Nate now. It's like Nate it happen.
You definitely can do it. You just need to just don't avoid the bit you have to do.
Yeah, it's made me realise that I'm incredibly good at making excuses up.
we all are. Starting to tile out the bathroom floor because they got her injury. Guess who's doing the plastering now?